Good evening. This is B. A. Nagesh, retired civil servant, MA in Political Science and Public Administration. Today we do a unit on General Studies paper 2, Internal Security. General Studies paper 2, International Relations. So the question in the 2020 paper, we are continuing a discussion on the 2020 paper. Critically examine the role of WHO in providing global health security during the COVID pandemic. So this is a very straightforward question in General Studies paper 2. And when I see the paper 2, so the 2020 paper is not different from the previous years, last 4-5 years. International relations has been given a consistent 50 to 60 marks. So 60 marks is minimum in international relations. And as I said earlier, GS2 basically comprises polity, governance and international relations. So today we are doing a question on international relations from the 2020 paper. Critically examine the role of WHO in providing global health security during the COVID pandemic. First an introduction, then we go to the major initiatives taken by the WHO, then issues of concern. Science, solutions and solidarity have been the WHO's tools for addressing the biggest health threat. The biggest health threat of the century, the COVID pandemic, has been tackled by the WHO through innovative measures in science, providing affordable solutions, and solidarity by coordinating with various transponders and providers. So WHO leveraged well-established scientific relationships and connections to facilitate the rapid development of vaccines, treatments and diagnostics. So these are the three-pronged approach leveraged by the WHO to facilitate the rapid development of vaccines, treatment and diagnostic. Coming to the main part of the answer. Main initiatives taken by the WHO. Now, the WHO created a COVID-19 partners platform. So, a new management of health crisis. See, the WHO has pioneered global health security. So, the first step it has taken towards global health security is through a new model of health crisis by getting together 150 countries, UN entities, and 900 partners. So, this is one major initiative. The second initiative, COVID-19 supply chain management to fill gaps, ensure quality, and help countries navigate supply chains. This is the most important work of the WHO. Supply chain management. The third, distribution of oxygen supplies, pulse oximeters. This is mostly it was given to the African countries where there is a dire necessity of oxygen supplies. Then the WHO also has got a dashboard, COVID-19 dashboard, which it updates daily. In addition to the above initiatives, the WHO has gone on for a free online course. Like whatever you wanted to know about COVID, what the WHO is doing, what the countries are doing. It has got an open platform called Open WHO platform. This is a portal where online courses are given in 45 languages. Apart from this, the WHO is playing a major role in coordination with world leaders, hospital directors, and 70 emergency medical teams to tackle the COVID-19 pandemic. The most important work undertaken by the WHO is technical support, especially for the developing countries where the technical support, guidance is very badly required. Virtual training, then equipment and supplies. So this is the major contribution of WHO. Technical support, virtual training, equipment and supplies. Scientific collaboration with scientists, regulators and founders to accelerate critical research on the pandemic. This is the most novel contribution of the WHO, where the WHO is doing a lot in collaborating with scientists and regulators and founders to accelerate research on the pandemic. Speed and safe development. Not only the development of the vaccine should be safe, but it has to be done in a quick manner. So, manufacturing of COVID-19 vaccines and monitoring the progress made by several countries. We appreciate the efforts of the WHO for its pioneering efforts in promoting the COVAX, that is a group for which will help many developing countries receive vaccines. So the notable contribution of the WHO, speed and safe development of vaccines, and the COVAX initiative, by which 90% of the global population is eligible to receive vaccines. So these are the major initiatives initiated by the WHO at the time of the COVID pandemic. When we see the important issues or the main obstacles which are coming in the way, first is vaccine nationalism. Like we have seen how the developed countries behaved. Like for instance, you see the how China refused to allow the WHO to come and inspect certain areas, certain factories which were manufacturing the vaccine. Then tendency among the developed countries, the Western countries, to first distribute the vaccine to their own people, and only then to help the developing countries. One major issue which we are facing is the best tools, the best information against COVID-19 is not shared by the Western world. In for that matter, China has not shared any information on the COVID-19 pandemic. Though the certain studies show that the pandemic originated from China, the best practices, the best tools against COVID-19 are not shared. Now, what is happening as a result of this is, especially in developing countries like India, where now we are having the vaccination program, which is going to start on the 16th, a three-phase program covering different sections of the population. So this has resulted in other immunization programs taking a back seat, like the polio immunization and other immunization programs which were going around, which were going about in a time-bound manner. All these have taken a back seat because of the urgency of immunizing people against the COVID pandemic. So these are the issues and the problems which are affecting or what shall I say, which are inhibiting the functioning of the WHO. Basically, the WHO, specialized organ of the United Nations, was set up namely for promoting of global health security, and it has played a dominant role in eradicating several epidemics, besides spearheading the efforts of the countries in providing leadership. As I said earlier, science, solutions, and solidarity are the main tools of the WHO for tackling the COVID-19 pandemic. And the WHO is working on a three-pronged attack by simultaneous development of vaccines, treatments, and diagnostics. Then we spoke of the major initiatives taken up by the WHO. We spoke of important initiatives like the COVID-19 Partners Platform. We spoke of supply chain management, then the COVID-19 dashboard, updating it, then open WHO platform, online courses in 45 languages, technical support, virtual training, equipment and supplies, scientific collaboration, importance to research, speed and safe development of vaccines. We also spoke of the notable initiative, the COVAX, wherein 90% of the global population will be eligible to receive vaccines. The work of the WHO is hindered by several factors. First, I spoke of vaccine nationalism, how the developed countries are first looking at their own backyard or looking at their own countries and not thinking of the needy or the less well-to-do in other countries. The best tools against COVID-19 have not been shared. Best practices on fighting the COVID-19. Like I gave the instance of how China has refused to permit the WHO to inspect certain installations. Then the major stress on the fighting the COVID pandemic, the immunization program has affected other national programs. Like say you take the case of our own country, wherein top immunization programs like the pulse polio program, all this is affected due to the overemphasis given to fighting the COVID pandemic. So this is how you would answer a question on the role of WHO in providing global health security during the COVID pandemic. This is a straightforward question in General Studies paper 2, International Relations of the 2020 paper. So we have provided a comprehensive answer for this question to be answered in 150 words carrying 10 marks. As I said earlier, you can always improve on the answer, but don't leave out any part of the answer because whatever I have covered is very comprehensive and suits your requirement for the exam. Because you may have read a lot, you may have studied so much on the particular topic under consideration, but how far or how well you are able to condense what you know in 150 words makes all the difference. To conclude, I would suggest once again, for the sake of repetition, keep writing 2 answers a day and get them evaluated. Unless you establish the habit of writing answers, you cannot succeed in the mains. So this completes our discussion of a topic on GS2 international relations. Thank you.